but I also want the wonton and the French toast.
This is actually kind of cool because what you see is on one side you have all the Western food items, and on the other side you have all the Chinese food items. Like quite literally, you see over here it says 中式basic, right? So you got Eastern, you got Western. It's basically a melting pot of old school comfort food from both the West and the East.
So we should try everything on the menu.
Except the alcohol. So when you come to a Chaan, you can always order the classic sort of drinks like a lemon tea, or you can try something a little more adventurous, a little more nostalgic. So what we have here is salted lemon with 7-Up. Now I've never tried this before. I know my parents have. It's meant to be really, really sweet because the salt in the lemon brings out the sugar from the 7-Up. So I'm gonna give this a try and see how it tastes. Wow, this is interesting. So you don't have much of the sourness, the citrusy acids from the lemon because it's been fermented, it's been soaked in the salt for so long. But what happens then is it brings up a very strong, syrupy, sugary kind of taste. It actually makes the 7-Up even sweeter than it really is. So this is, I wouldn't drink this every day. It'd probably rot my teeth, but it's definitely a very interesting take on the classic soft drink with a classic sort of fermented, salted Chinese staple.
So there's this Chinese saying, or Hong Kong saying, it's 16, so do it for the grab. I want a candid shot. This is shitty, man.
Well, how do you want to do it?
You like a better angle next time. Okay, next time. I don't think I've had liver before. It's definitely different, like the texture is different from any other meat, but the flavor of it is pretty good.
Do you feel that there's a little like irony, metallic taste to it as well? So that's because what it does is it filters a lot of blood. The liver is meant to be filtering a lot of impurities in your body. So therefore, there's going to be a lot of irony because it filters a lot of blood. So the ginger is supposed to take away that really strong, funky, metallic smell and taste as well. So the reason why there's so many different things in this dish is because when you think about back in the days when Hong Kong was going through a lot of economic crisis, was going through a war, a famine, not every household had a lot of food. We didn't have steaks, we didn't have bags of rice, we didn't have all the different kinds of foods that we would sustain us. Instead, we had little bits of everything. So in order to make it so one piece of meat could serve a whole family, that's how stir-fried came up in the first place, where you chop it up and you season it with a bit of rice, with a bit of veg. So when you only have one bite of rice, one bite of meat, one bite of veg, and 1 teaspoon of salt, how are you going to make a dish out of it? You combine it together. And this is the sort of culmination of hardship, of famine, of war, and at the very end, the necessity to feed oneself.
What's that?
So this is actually a grilled ox tongue. Now, this is actually one of my favorite pieces of meat on a cow. Especially spending so many years in California, whenever I got tacos, I always got lengua, which is basically ox tongue. Now, ox tongue, when it's not cooked, it's kind of tough. It's a strong muscle, right? But when you marinate it, when you soak it, and then you slow fry it and sear it, it breaks down the proteins and it becomes a very nice, tender, soft piece of meat. You can also see it a lot in Korean barbecue as well. So this is actually starting to become a very popular cut of meat.
Do I eat the end?
Yeah. This is the underside of the tongue.
Oh.
So you get a little bit of veiny, a little bit of bloody, but
okay. I'm just gonna put it in my mouth.
Yeah, put the tongue in your mouth.
Yeah, put that tongue in my mouth.
Wow. So we've eaten so much food. We've talked over the sort of things that I had and I'm not bringing. Now we come to the main dish, this pork chop fried rice. Now, why is this your favorite?
Well, it's what Chaan is. It's the West, the East, combined together, you get this. You have tomato sauce on the top, pork cutlet with fried rice underneath, baked, and bam, you get the best dish on earth.
Wow.
But the thing is, what I really like about this place is that you can see it's pork cutlet. And not a lot of places make pork cutlet with their pork chop rice and eat. A lot of times it's just simple pork chop. So to actually have the OG stuff, it's so exciting. The tomato sauce is so good.
I've had a few pork chop fried rice before. This is what you're the top. The rice isn't oily, and it's got just enough egg where it's fragrant, but it's not too eggy. The pork chop itself, you still have a sliver of crispiness on the underside, and it's juicy as well. So it's not dried out, even though it's been deep fried.
I'm so full.
Yeah, we actually ate a lot of food.
Yeah,
But we're not going to be leaving this restaurant for like another 5-10 minutes. Because the waiters in Hong Kong restaurants have a knack of looking in every single direction except for their table.
So true.
Right? So that's why we need to raise our hands to get their attention.
One eternity later.
Still can't see you.
Oh, there we go.
So this one's on you?
Yeah, sure. One of the things that makes Hong Kong quite unique is the international reach it has. Like, for example, if you see over there, it's a classic graffiti piece known by the man named Invader. So he was a French graffiti artist born in the 60s, started off in Paris creating 8-bit art in the banlieues and the slums of Paris. And as you can see now, he's managed to make his reach over to Hong Kong. Now the problem is we don't know if this is a copycat artist or if it actually is Invader, but it still respects the OGs. So watch out for this kind of stuff. So while the food and decor of Mito Cafe is a good representation of how Tengs were in the past, humans are shitty, right? We like to exploit nostalgic things for likes on YouTube and Instagram. So, you know, we kind of already doing that. So you'll see that classic icons of any culture around the world is eventually watered down and replicated for the masses. So that brings us to our next location. We finally reached our next destination. It's a restaurant that's quite similar in style to Mito Cafe, which is over in Kowloon side. Now we're on the Hong Kong side, and as you'll notice, it's more of an international flair, international atmosphere. You're going to see that quite clearly in this particular restaurant. This one's called Choi Wa, or just Choi Wa Cafe. So it's a similar style in terms of a Chaan Tang, but you notice there's a lot more Western influence. It's got more of a global flair to it. More popular with the Western audience as well. Yeah, so let's go check it out.
Fun fact, did you know there's 26 branches of Choi Wa?
Wow. What makes this one so special then?
Well, it's the most popular locations located in Central, or also known as KF. But there's also some in Macau, China, and in Hong Kong.
Right. So this is one of the only ones that's 24 hours, right?
Oh, yes. Well, there's one in Causeway Bay too, that's 24 hours.
Right. That's probably why it's so popular then, because Elkia being a certain district, after you go clubbing, you kind of want to go just get some late night munchies.
I guess so.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some daytime munchies. So we already had a quick overview of some classic drinks, like the iced lemon tea, but now we also want to bring attention to another Hong Kong staple, which is the milk tea. Now, milk tea itself has actually been around for quite a while. Like, it's a British staple. You know, you get your nice Earl Grey, mix it with some milk, a little bit of sugar, and it's a nice afternoon snack, right? Now, Hong Kong milk tea on the other hand is a little bit different because we tend to use very strong bitter teas. On average, you usually use about 2 parts Indian tea leaves along with 1 part Sri Lankan tea leaves, so it's extremely bitter. And what makes this, palatable for most people is the fact that not only do they put milk, but they either add sugar or, the traditional one, add condensed milk. So it's very nice and smooth and silky. Now, the problem with this place on the other hand is they used to come up with these milk teas in glass bottles, but then they started talking about how it was very difficult to wash them and reuse them. So they found that most people wanted to take their milk tea on the go, so they came up with plastic bottled milk tea. When you come into the western districts of Hong Kong, on the other hand, you're going to find stuff like this, which is, it's great, popcorn chicken. Who doesn't like chicken? You just don't really see this as a typical Hong Kong dish. It's very much for Western palates. I hope it tastes good. Yeah.
And I think this is one of the few places you actually do get this on the menu. So once again, that extensive menu that you get from Choi Wa. Chicken cheers.
Yeah, so we got, oh wait, hold on, let's dip.
Dip it.
Dip it.
Sauce game.
Yep, yeah, this is what it is, right? Sauce game right here. Cheers it. Wow. You can definitely taste they seasoned the chicken before they put the breading on. Right? And then the sauce itself, because they use a sweet Thai chili, it really brings it all together.
It tastes like McDonald's McWings. It even reminds me of KFC popcorn chicken.
So all our Western viewers out there, McDonald's in Hong Kong serves wings, and they're probably the best wings we're ever going to have, so come to Hong Kong. Wing game strong. This one's kind of interesting. Because for the most part, whenever you get mixed XO sauce noodles, it's usually more on the savory, spicy side. This one's just kind of tart. It's a little sweet, and I think it might be because the XO they have is a little more on the sweet side.
I feel like there wasn't enough sauce.
Yeah, there's definitely more meat and more noodle than there is sauce.
And I think the sauce is very important for this dish because it adds so much more flavor, and you really want the sauce to kind of be in every single taste within it. That's how I like it.
Yeah, Choi Wa, more sauce. There's not enough sauce right now. Your sauce game is weak.
Okay, so I've grown up eating really good wonton because my mom knows how to make wonton, and especially since her dad owned a wonton store in Wanzai in the past. So let's see if it's up to par. You can definitely taste the shrimp, the pork, but I feel like it could use a little bit more pork, a little bit more seasoning to really bring up that seafood flavor of the wonton. But I really like the soup. It's really fresh, really clear, and you taste the green onions, you taste the seafood flavors of it as well. Ooh, that's what we have here now. So this is the zampa,
The mixed grill.
which we also got earlier today at the other cafe. But you can see this is a little bit more Western. The meat is different as well.
And there's one thing that's very much a Hong Kong tradition. Whenever we have any sort of steak meal, steak dinners, we like to put it on a hot sizzling plate. Would you like to do the honors of pouring the gravy on top?
Ready?
So this is one of my personal favorites. It's basically pork cartilage, where you have a lot of the soft, tender cartilage that's been stewed along with the meat. So the meat itself is soft, and you have, if you're used to it, nice, soft, goopy little cartilage. So it's kind of like eating a soft rib. So for our international audience, this is what we call the cartilage. For most Western palates, talking about white people, you might not be used to savory, goopy sort of textures. You know, like when you're talking about jello or pudding, that sweet, jelly-like sort of texture. Imagine that, but pork flavored. So you know how earlier I talked about how this place is a 24-hour place, right? Mm-hmm. Well, this is also a popular place where if you want to, you know, ensure the night ends well, you take your supposed date on a Choi Wa test. Yeah. So the test itself is, imagine you go out drinking, you're in a dark club or a dark bar, and you happen to come across someone and, you know, things are moving on in the right direction. But you're not too sure whether it's the alcohol or the lighting that's making that person more attractive. So you bring them out here, where it's nice and brightly lit, and you really get to see whether the person you're bringing home is a 9 or a 10, or if they're more a 4 or a 5. Yeah. We're probably gonna finish this soon, right? Mm-hmm. We're probably gonna throw this bottle away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Choi Wa, sorry, but your recycling game is kind of weak. this is not sustainable. This is not good for the environment. I appreciate you saying that it takes a lot of time cleaning up your glass bottles, but this ain't good for the earth.
Well, maybe I should take it home and do some DIY.
Yeah, you can
And
make
make it into like a flower.
Yeah, you can make a nice little vase out of it. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. You grow some sunflowers out of it, right? Plants. Some herbs.
Basil.
Yes, basil. Do you want to finish it?
It's all yours.
This is painful. How do people do food challenges?
Right, you know what? Let's just get the bill and go home.
Yeah, let's stop out this.
Alright.
Alright, let's go stop out.
Okay, so thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
If you want to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us in our adventures. People in the comments, talk about your experiences at Tengs. What are your favorite joints? What are your favorite foods? People who didn't like this episode, it's fine. Go away. Don't talk to us. Or you can hit us in the catch us in the comments. How about that? So this is the part in the video where our cameraman messed up and didn't actually record anything. So we're gonna have to actually add some shit in here now.
Get it together, Mario.
Alright, Six Goddess. Alright, so we hit up both Mito Cafe, we also hit up Choi Hwa. What was your take on the restaurants? Which one did you think was, more up to your standard, more up your alley?
Personally, I really like Mito because it really brought us back to the olden times of Hong Kong. And you got to really eat the food that I really like the pork cutlet. And what I liked about it is that it's still crispy and it's just the way I remember it when I was a child.
Yeah, Hong Kong's history isn't that old, but when you actually look at some of these restaurants and these food items you get on the menus, it kind of brings back a nostalgia that you don't really get from Choi Hwa, right? I quite like the modern take of Choi Hwa, but that stir-fried noodle, that crispy noodle from Mito, now that was some shit. That was some on-point shit.
Damn right.